What's going on?
What is going on, Mark?
Hey man,
Pizza
I'm here, bro.
in a big mood right now. In a big mood right now.
My bad. The song just something about the song just feels different today. You know what I'm saying? It just feels different for this week. I'm in a big mood right now. I'm sorry you couldn't be here. Only one of us can be here. We at the same conference, so but just like Red and Debo. Like, you know what? No, it's supposed to be my. You know what? I guess it can be your turn this time. You know what I'm saying? You just got to be red. I'm Debo today. You red. It's like both of ours.
You know I'm not fit. I'm not amused, right?
I know. I'm trying. I thought I would get some chuckles or something like nothing. You ain't giving me nothing right now. That's crazy, bro. Like, yeah, I thought you would at least give me a little bit of a lightheartedness, but you know what? I understand, Mark. Um, I do understand to some degree. And
What's going?
I hate to say this, but yeah, what's up, Troy?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I hate to say it like this, Mark, but your team is at a crossroads, and we know where it could go, but we also understand the other direction of that. And if you go in the other direction, then that's not a 1 year period.
Hey man,
From a Niners fan, it's not no 1 year period.
I'm not amused by none of it. None of it. None of it is amusing to me.
The song is entertaining. You know what you should be amused by, Mark, is the fact that your favorite football player right now is in the Super Bowl.
Hey man, you know what I mean? He is my favorite football player is in the Super Bowl, and that's what's up. And I'm happy for him. I'm happy for his legacy, but it's tainted. The referees in these games have tainted my experience of him. Like, Doug, I honestly hate this about me. That I'm I can't look at the game and just be like, well, I like this person, so I don't give a f what's going on or how he got there. He's there. Like, I don't look at it like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people was able to enjoy Tom Brady's career because, like, despite the tuck rule, all the nonsense that got him the Super Bowls, he got the Super Bowl. So, like, they don't care. Like me, it matters how you got it. And unfortunately,
I don't know if you're seeing this happening in our Madden League, Mark, but this is outrageous, Mark. We got to shut this down.
what?
These fools are making a deal. The Ravens dude said, hey, Lamar's on the trade block. The Chiefs dude said, hey, man, I'll trade you straight up for Pat Mahomes. The Chiefs dude says, you know what? I'll just drop him, and then you'll drop Lamar, and then we'll pick up each other's quarterbacks. Nah, son, y'all not making no past the trade deadline fucking trade. That's crazy, bro. Sorry to interrupt you, but
Yeah, it's all good, man.
that community is so toxic, bro. I really can't stand these motherfuckers, man. Sorry for the language.
But nah, like I was saying. Anyway, like I was saying, bro. With that, like, with everything, I can't enjoy the process that we're going through when it comes to Patrick Mahomes, because, like, there was a lot of stuff that was trash. Like, as far as how they got there, like, and it wasn't like it was his fault. Like, he can't control that the refs are out there fixing games to a degree with non-pass interference calls, but he is certainly benefiting from it. And we'll get into that. We'll certainly will get into that. This is going to be a short one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're going to be talking about some haircuts, some Super Bowl predictions, and that's about it, man. We're going to be bing, bang, boom, and out of here. So with that being said, man, let's just go ahead and get into it.
All right,
man. Here we go. So first things first, man.
Sorry, I'm laughing. I ain't even ready yet, but I'm laughing at this shit already.
You know what I'm saying? Like, first things first, man. Let me ask you, Shawn, when's the last time you yourself got a Travis Kelce?
You know, as you can see, Mark, you know, brothers from another mother right now, you know, you reached the finish line before I did, but Mark, let me be very clear. I've never gotten a Travis Kelce. If you want to know the last time I got a fade, Mark, I can tell you that. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you the last time I got a fade. I can't tell you the last time I got a Travis Kelce or the first time I did. Nah, man, that's craziness, man. Mark, scenario, like I said, you know, you got a full head of hair. You know what I'm saying?
I haven't had a full head of hair in like 20 years, bro.
Look. That's why this is a made-up scenario, okay? Look, just follow me. Stay with me for a minute, right? You walk into a barbershop. You say, you know what I'm saying? Let me get a taper. Let me get a fade. You know what I'm saying? And somebody says, oh, you mean the Travis Kelce? Do you stay in that barbershop, Mark? Do you stay there? Do you get your hair cut? Do you walk out? What happens in that scenario? Somebody says, oh, you mean the Travis Kelce?
I look on the door, and then I'm like, all right. And then I look on the wall, and I'd be like, you know how they have all the different types of haircuts? And I'd be like, oh, there's a lot of white people on these walls. I'm in the wrong place.
A lot of Travis Kelce's on the wall. That's funny as hell. Nah, man, but like, you know what? Let me look at here, man. Like, look, I you know, honestly, I'll probably start looking at the decor. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be honest, Mark. I'll walk in there and I'll be like, okay, I don't see no TV in the background. I don't see two barbers in the back playing Madden right now. I don't see the jailbroken Fire Stick. You know what I'm saying? With playing in the background. I don't see the Martin Luther King and Malcolm X photos in the back. You know what I'm saying? You start to look around at all the details and start to question how you ended up there, man. but seriously, man, the reason why this is a topic. Go ahead.
I'm gonna read this real quick. Troy said started with the Kyle wife wearing woman gear. Now Kelce with the fade. I'm gonna be honest with you. It didn't start with Kelce. It didn't necessarily start with Kyle's wife. One of the earliest ones I remember in recent memory is Kim Kardashian with the box braids. Or was it Chloe with the box braids?
It was Kim with the box braids. Okay. I'm not gonna forget that. I'm not gonna forget that.
So it was one of them Kardashians with the box braids talking about some they're bringing them back their new style or something, and it was like, yo, if y'all don't get the F out of here, dog, with this nonsense, like y'all haven't rocked the box braid since Bo Derek. Y'all better chillax, man. Relax.
Yeah. The box braids is crazy, man. I remember, and I don't know if you remember this. I remember it because it happened during COVID, and I was like, this is when I knew the world was ending, Mark. It had some fashion magazine where it showed a white lady, I can't remember who it was, wearing a bonnet, but then they didn't call it a bonnet. They called it something else, and they were saying it was a new style, and I'm like, I swear to you, bro, y'all gonna steal the bonnet too? Like, y'all gonna steal everything? Like, this is crazy, man. But yeah, nah. So, but yes, like to comment on the Kyle Juszczyk thing, I do have a problem with the Kyle Juszczyk thing. You mean to tell me that you saw somebody making bootleg NFL apparel, okay? And instead of suing their ass, you said, you know what? We will allow you to make officially licensed NFL gear. All I'm saying is, if Kyle, if Kyle's wife was Shaniqua, would the situation still be the same? You know, if it was,
they're gonna shut
if it
that
was,
down.
if it was Lamar Jackson with a wife that was doing this, that's crazy, man. Oh, you don't even get notifications no more? Hey, man, they trying to, are we shadow banned? That's what they be talking about, man. Like, what's going on, man? That's crazy.
I'm sorry, Matt. That's crazy. I don't
Yeah,
know why
no.
you didn't get a notification.
That makes sense as to the things I've been seeing lately, but yes. But yeah, no, honestly though, like I found that one really peculiar. Like and there was a whole article, a whole storyline about it. Like, yeah, you know, she's been making and selling these jackets and all this stuff, and then NFL caught wind of it, and they said, you know what, we like that. Go ahead, we'll give you the NFL license. That's crazy, Mark. Anyways, yeah, I don't like some of the stuff that is tied to my team. But,
exactly. Like it's hard to like some of these things, man. But it is what it is, man. What you gonna do?
Yeah, but there's a little lighthearted topic to start though. But hey, sorry, stop trying to make fetch happen. We're not calling the fade a Travis Kelce.
Yeah, New York Times. Relax.
we not doing that.
You know what bothers me? Like, what? It's New York. Like it's New York. You gotta know better. Like than to say like, oh, Travis Kelce's making fades popular. Like, bro, you walk the streets every day and you see a black person with a fade. Like, relax. But you have to at least one.
And guess what they call a white person with a fade? Eminem. let's be real. Now, you trying to be like Eminem? Okay, like, you know what I'm saying? You trying to be everybody but Travis Kelce. Nobody ever been accused of trying to be Travis Kelce when they got a fade, man. Come on, man. Stop
it. What did Matt say? He said, I think it was a gray area because she was buying things, modifying them, and reselling. She wasn't just knocking off like all those Korea jerseys. Okay.
Now you know we understand Korea jerseys. That's a totally different thing. But with that said, her modifying stuff, she's not the first person to take something and modify it and resell it. But let's be honest, usually bigger companies that are a brand, it doesn't matter if the fans like it or not. They will step in and say, either you give me a cut of what not even a cut. They say either you give me all of the money that you made or we're going to sue you. That's usually how it goes. So, granted, the stuff that she's doing is definitely doper than the shit that the NFL's putting out. So I get it. But at the same time, I just feel like that's not what normally happens in those scenarios. Shots fired, I feel attacked. Hey, look, I know you keep a fade, man. I know you keep a fade. Hey, do you get mistaken for Travis Kelce when you out? Do people come up to you and say, "Oh man, you got the Travis Kelce"? I didn't think so, Matt. I didn't think so.
Hey man, do they act like that's a legit question? Yeah, like, so Matt, how do you feel? Like if you've been getting the fade for years, right? And somebody was like, "Oh, I see you with the Travis." Like how would you feel if you walked outside? Somebody said, "I see you with the Travis. I see you with the Kelce." All right, and like now, they just took something that you've already been doing forever and just attached it to somebody else's name that just started it. Like,
yeah, that'd be crazy. Yeah, like I've been rocking the fade for 20 years. What are they talking about? Like, yeah. So you said listening to Shay talk about it was funny. I didn't get to catch the whole segment. It was long. It was talking about it for a minute. I didn't catch it all. But obviously, the bits and pieces I caught were good.
Yeah.
But enough about the Travis Kelce thing. But the reason why this is a topic, folks, is he said white women just making up shit. I hate it here. Hey, look. Man. It's crazy, man. But yeah, the reason why it's a topic is because of the Taylor Swift stuff, man. And I just want to talk about it briefly. because we're going to get into it on a deeper level later in one of the topics. But let's just be honest, man. I just don't like the Taylor Swift effect that's been happening, and I don't like what I've been seeing. But like I said, we'll get more in depth with that later. For now, you want to move on to the next topic, Mark?
Yeah, man. From one Kyle to another.
Yeah.
Jed York. Kyle knew during camp in 2022. The revisionist history has to stop. Matt, you're going to like this topic. This is a special topic for Shawn.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to like it, but I'm going to talk about it. I really hate this, man. I saw the actual interview with Jed York where he's speaking about Brock Purdy, and he says, hey, Kyle came to me during camp in 2022. Excuse me. They came to me in camp during 2022 and said, hey, man, Brock Purdy might be the best quarterback out of the three. Now, that's the clip that's going around. That's the quote that's going around. That's the quote that everybody is reporting on all the major shows, but they're not saying it like that. They're quoting it as, he said, Kyle Shanahan outright said Brock Purdy after just a few days in camp, saying that Brock Purdy is just better than the rest of them. That's not what happened. In that, the full-scale comment was, he said he came to him, he said Brock Purdy might be the best quarterback of the three. He also went on to say that, hey, he said in the past, Kyle has spoken to him about his openness when it comes to the players and how he feels about them. And he said, hey, today I might tell you something. And that feeling might be true for that day. But I might also come back to you 3 weeks from now and say that I feel differently. So you can't take anything that I say to you in the moment as gospel. Okay? This is what Jed York said in that interview. So he made it very clear that Kyle felt that way during camp. He said that, and Kyle also went on. Kyle also said he will more than likely be our starter at some point. He did not say that he knew he was better than him for sure. He didn't say that he was immediately better than him at that point. He just know that he saw somebody with more potential than the other two quarterbacks. Okay, that's what he saw, man. So I don't like the fact that the media is hopping on this and then going back and saying Kyle knew, he's a genius. Kyle, when they drafted the guy and camp came around and he was like, Brock Purdy's going to be the greatest. Like, that's not what happened, man. And I hate the revisionist history because I promised you 2 years ago, last year, Mark can tell you, I was like, man, I hate what's happening right now. We were supposed to get rid of Jimmy G, but he's still here. We said we were going to get rid of him. He's still here. We just signed him. Okay? Jimmy G is going to be our starter. I thought we were going to see Trey Lance. And then right at the last moment, right before camp started, it was like, nah, we're going into this camp as Trey as the starter. But then we also found out that we were shopping Trey. Okay? We were shopping Trey. We were shopping Jimmy G. All this stuff was going on during that same camp that we're talking about, okay?
Right.
We didn't know who we wanted to be the starter, okay? And then we had the injury to Trey Lance, and then we had Jimmy G there, who wasn't even supposed to be on the team at the time, okay? Then we had Jimmy G get hurt, and then Brock Purdy came in, okay? Brock Purdy didn't take any first team snaps, any first team reps. He was only running a scout team, essentially. And the way it was broken down was, hey, you go through a practice and you do 12 possessions. Brock Purdy was only getting 2 of those possessions in practice week to week, and it was only scout team. Okay, that's not how you treat somebody that you know is that you want to be your starter. Okay, That is not what happened. Okay, so I know these guys want to give Kyle Shanahan credit for things that he didn't do, but that's not what we do here. Okay, we're gonna keep it a buck. Kyle Shanahan was in question by the very same media during the entirety of the Trey Lance Jimmy G back and forth. That's what I remember about that camp. So yes, Mark, do you have any comments on that?
Hey man, not particularly. The only comment that I really have, well, actually, I lied. I do have a comment. Because my issue here is the fact that they talk like the revisionist history of like, oh yeah, man, this dude was a genius. Like look at him. He got him from the sixth round or seventh round and all this nonsense. He got Mr. Irrelevant, and like they just knew nonsense, man. He was a camp arm. He was always intended to be a camp arm. It's just that the guy you thought was going to be great is trash, and that guy's actually pretty good. You deserve credit for recognizing that this guy is good and not sticking to and not being stubborn because you drafted this guy in the first round. You deserve that level of credit for recognizing when to move on. That's it.
Yeah, and the only other credit I'll give you is you saw something in him in the film going into that draft to say, if he's still around and we have a 7th round pick still, then we'll take him.
Right.
That's it. That's the credit that you deserve, and that's fair. Like, and it is a good thing that you say, I saw this at some point in time, and I made the decision to pull the trigger.
Like the fact that you like, it's the same thing for Tom Brady. Like, you can't give Bill Belichick for drafting Tom Brady in the 6th round. He never intended for Tom Brady to do anything. Like Drew Bledsoe got hurt. Tom Brady stepped in and he was like, "Oh crap, that boy is good." And like, it
wasn't part of a master plan. Like,
yeah, like, nah, man. Nobody is out there with the limitless pill for draft day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the limitless stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, predict, like, oh, he moved this way, so that way. So now I knew that this car was going to crash at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday. Like, what?
Yeah, like, nah, nah, man. Like, that's my problem. Is that you guys are trying to make it out like Kyle was just clairvoyant. He was just ahead of everybody, Mark. So I didn't send you the video today, and I'm bringing up Matt's comment right now because he said reports are saying people have Purdy graded for the 4th round. Now, I'm going to tell you this, which is crazy. I saw a video on YouTube today, and it was from 2 years ago, and it was showing this small YouTuber did a 13.5-minute breakdown of a scouting report. He did his own scouting report on Brock Purdy at Iowa. Mind you, he did the scouting report as if he was coming out in that draft, and Brock Purdy ended up going back for another year. So he was in that draft, he was predicting Brock Purdy to be a 6th round guy. So Brock Purdy was predicted to be a 6th round talent the year before. And then, but shout out to whoever that YouTuber is. I want to find his name because everything that he said in his scouting report was very accurate as to the pluses and minuses of what Brock Purdy does and what he plays like. And what I found in that scouting report, Mark, was I'm watching the videos, I'm watching the tapes, I'm watching the highlights, and I'm watching everything. I'm looking at his stats. He had like 82 touchdowns to like 33 picks over his career. He had a whole lot of yards, all this other stuff. He was improvising and doing some of the same stuff. But Mark, honestly, if you watch that tape, you will look at it and say, he's not going to be able to do that on an NFL level. There's bigger, stronger, faster athletes coming at him. These, like, the windows are shorter. I understand exactly why Brock Purdy was picked in the 7th round. And for anybody to come and say, nah, Kyle knew though. He saw it. No, you didn't. You liar.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was clear as day why he was a 7th round pick, because everything he did was like, okay, you can do that at college. You can't do that in the NFL.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like hold the next thought. I gotta share this because this is actually just
Okay.
funny.
Yeah,
All
go
right. I was just scrolling through the internet, and we have some breaking news as well. But I was just scrolling through the internet to see if there was anything else to talk about for today. But this came up, and it says this is from Twitter. It says the IRS only has 93,000 employees. If we band together, we could beat their ass. I'll handle the first three. The next person replies, "Don't touch my mama," and the person replies. The original poster replies back to him and says, "Better tell my dudes to take the day off. Otherwise, I'ma fold her clothes with her still in them."
Hey, yo, that's gotta be the coldest shit. He said, "I'll fold her clothes while she's still in them." That's crazy. Hey, look, I gotta start using that. I don't know. That's wild, man. Hey, that's a 100 out of 100. Mark. You don't have a response to that. You can't reply with nothing to that. Hey, hey, that's funny, man. Hey, if we band together. Hey, look, Uncle Sam about to get fucked up today. Let's go. Speaking of that video, though, Matt, I'm gonna send you that video, Matt. I'm gonna send you that video. But
back to the breaking news, though.
Yeah. Oh shit! Here we go.
Crusty Lusty, what's going on, bro? How you doing? Yeah. This is from my Madden league. I did post a link in the league today. But anyway, like I was saying, Devin Hester. They're saying that Devin Hester will be inducted into the Hall of Fame this go round. That is a report. So we'll see. So we'll see if that actually happens. But I'm excited for him if he is actually inducted into the Hall of Fame this year.
Yeah.
He deserves it. He's the greatest kick returner of all time. Period.
It shouldn't even been a question, Mark. You know, that's the way I feel. It shouldn't even have been a question. But I'm glad that he's getting in. I'm glad he's not getting any of the crazy like TO treatment or wide receiver treatment, I should say. They be disrespecting wide receivers left and right. But
yeah, man, like he deserves it. Like I do not know a person that came close to him as far as a kick returner. It probably would have been Deshaun Jackson if Deshaun Jackson wasn't also a great wide receiver. Because if Deshaun Jackson was just a kick returner, or if they had him on kick returns more often, he probably would have been in that category. But
yeah, there's a few people. Deion Sanders, they stopped having him do it after a while too. And like he was being used the same way Deshaun Jackson was like this particular game in this particular moment. Hey, Deion, we need you to be the return guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He was being used in special moments. But I agree with you there. The only person that I seen have even remotely close to a run was one of my favorite players, the original person that was called X Factor. What was his name? The Chiefs.
Can't be one of your favorite players then, if you don't.
It is. I'm just drawing a blank. You gotta excuse me. But nah, man. He had a stretch.
I see how you doing right now. Because you're a San Francisco 49ers fan, you just gonna blank on Chiefs players' names. I get it.
I'm not.
You petty.
Not just
You petty. You super petty, my boy.
Nah.
That's crazy.
The man's nickname was Human Joystick. Like, hold on.
Dante Hall, that's what it is. Yeah, Human Joystick, man. I'm not trying to fade, Chiefs players and play them and nothing like that. But yeah, Dante Hall, man, Human Joystick.
Nah, I appreciate you guys helping him out, but I wanted to see how long he was going to pretend not to know his name.
I wasn't pretending, bro. I really just had a brain fart, man. Can I have a brain fart? Bro, I'm getting old and stuff, man. Like, it's okay. It's okay. But yeah, Dante Hall, man, he had a stretch where in 8 games he had 5 touchdowns on returns. Troy, don't do that. Don't join in with the nonsense, man. Don't join in with the nonsense. But
He's like, magically, you could tell me something that happened, like, and you guys pay attention all the time, and y'all be in here listening to us. You could tell me something that happened in 1998 in the fourth quarter in the 13-minute mark. But right now, all of a sudden, you don't know who Dante Hall is. All right.
Hey, man, Mark, I'm not even going to lie, dog. You got me backed into a corner. I ain't got no defense right now, but I promise you I'm telling the truth.
Right.
I look crazy right now, but hey, you got me, dog. I don't know what to say to that. You're right. I don't know, but nah, man. But nah, he got 5 touchdowns in the span of 8 games. And that run was crazy, but the problem with that run is he wasn't in the NFL long enough, and then people stopped kicking to him, but I also believe he had a run, and that's what it was. Devin Hester was a threat his entire career, okay? And he was on an NFL roster for 15 years because of his return skills only. People were putting him out there at cornerback and wide receiver and running back and all kind of shit just because, like, look, man, you're too good of a returner for us not to have you on a roster, but you have to have a position other than returner. Right.
Like, what was crazy was that, like, I remember one time, like, he was getting older and they actually kicked, and it was like for a long time nobody kicked to him, and then they kicked to him, and it was like, oh, that was a mistake. Like, he immediately ran that joint back, and it was like, see, that's why we don't kick to him. Like, and he was older. I was like,
so real quick, and I want to talk about this because every Hall of Famer has Hall of Fame moments, or at least one big Hall of Fame moment. Mm-hmm. And for Devin Hester, I'm never gonna forget this. All right. I'm not going to forget it like I forgot Dante Hall's name. Anyway, but here we go. Here's one of those moments, Mark. So going into the Super Bowl, the Colts straight up said, like, Tony Dungy said, I don't care. We not avoiding Devin Hester. We don't care about Devin Hester. You know, everybody was saying don't kick to him. Now, this is during a season where Devin Hester, I think this is the season that Devin Hester had the most kick return touchdowns in his career, all in one season. And they said that before the game, and it's like, they ain't really gonna do it. Opening kickoff of the Super Bowl, they kick the kickoff to Devin Hester, and he runs that shit back for a touchdown. The opening kickoff of the Super Bowl, like, that's one of those moments where it's like, okay, man, leave him alone. They didn't kick to him for the entirety of the rest of the Super Bowl, but they regretted that kick. And if you go back and look at that Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken, Mark, the Bears put up 13 points. The only touchdown they had was Devin Hester running that back. Like, that was the effect that Devin Hester had on the team, you know, when he was returning kicks, man. He's absolutely a Hall of Famer. I feel like he's the only person that I can say that was just a better returner than Deion Sanders. So with that said, man, yeah. With that said, shout out to Devin Hester, but yeah, that's what I'm gonna remember about him is that opening kickoff in the Super Bowl.
Hey, man.
Nah, that shit turned into a nightmare, didn't it, boy?
Hey, listen. It is what it is, man.
Yeah.
But look, we about to get into it. Let's just go ahead and get into our Super Bowl predictions. And I kind of liked the way that we let it off before with the questions. So I'm just going to lead this off. Right now, they have 49ers are favorite, right?
Yes. You know what? And the line went from 1.5 points to 2.5 points.
Yeah.
So it opened at 1.5 right as soon as the last game was played in the championship week. But as of right now, it is 2.5 points for the Niners. So the gap, apparently they're now more favored than they were before. So I don't know what's going on. I just don't understand. I don't feel like we should be favored. But
why shouldn't you be? You clearly have the better roster.
Well,
by leagues. Like offensively, you have the better roster by leagues.
I feel like we haven't had the better performances in the playoffs.
I mean, that's
And
fine. But here's the thing: you can say you haven't had the better performances in the playoffs, but your team, like, despite like the up and down nature of your games, I believe you outscored the Chiefs in every game. It's just that the Chiefs, like, they got on top and they stayed on top in their games, versus you guys having to fight back and forth, but you still outscored the Chiefs in every game.
I mean, I'm hearing that, but a lot of, as you
I
pointed
mean,
out,
the Chiefs only scored 17 points in this last game.
as a lot of people pointed out, we also gave up a lot, and we had a lot of help in us basically pitching 2 shutouts in the second half. It wasn't as if our defense just came out there and just locked shit up. They played great. Our defense played great in the second halves. We had help, man. It just is what it is. So, yeah, no, I mean, I'm not going to argue with somebody that says we are favored. I'm just telling you how I feel. I say I don't feel like we should be favored. I don't feel like we've earned that just based off of the recent play. But yes, Mark, if you look at the totality of the season, to include the playoffs, and you look at how the Chiefs have struggled to put points on the board all season, then yes, I can see that. So, but
now here's the question for you that I have. Excuse me, guys. I'm going to ask you, what are the keys to, what are the things that will cause the Chiefs to lose this game? I'm not going to give you the 49ers. I'm giving you the Chiefs. What is going to cause the Chiefs to lose this game?
I got a few things, right? So number one, bad clock management. Okay? The bad management, I'm not just going to narrow it down to clock management. Bad management of the game. That has been the downfall of the Packers, and it was the downfall of the Lions, more so the Lions than the Packers. But yes, mismanagement of the game has been an issue. And I mention the Packers only because I look at things like everybody, the Packers fans, after that week came out and said Carlson has been missing anything beyond 45 yards. Like, they know that Carlson has been a bad kicker all year, and you can't, if you know that, you can't settle for a 48-yard field goal. You know what I mean? Not in a playoff game. You can't put that pressure on him when he can't even handle the pressure of a regular season game. It's these little minor details when it comes to managing the game have to be correct. So that's one of the ways that the Chiefs can lose the game. Another way that the Chiefs can lose the game is offensively. If they get cute. Right now, the reason why they were able to put up the points that they did against the Ravens, who have a great, phenomenal defense, I think, and I will tell you, the Ravens, I think everybody agrees, the Ravens had the best defense this year. Mm-hmm. Not just when it comes to holding opponents to lower points, but if you talk about turning the ball over, or getting turnovers, essentially forcing turnovers, all of that stuff, on all the levels that you would grade a defense, the Ravens were the best in the league. The reason why the Chiefs were able to go up 14-0 really early is because of the style of play. Screen passes to the running back, simple runs, running back leak, doing a block and release over the middle of the field. They kept it really simple. They said, we are here to play mistake-free and let our playmakers make plays after the catch. Even if it's just for 4 yards or 5 yards, we don't care. We are not here to try to get chunk plays. If they get cute, Mark, then it leaves it up to chance. But I think their best bet is to continue to do what they've been doing. All right? The 49ers defense is not the Ravens defense. They should be able to put up more than 17 points if they play that way. So those are the two big ones. And then the third one for me is if they turn the ball over.
Mm.
Our team has a very weird way of rallying. I don't know what gets said in the locker room at halftime, but I can tell you this: when we start rallying around each other, when our players start rallying around each other, and we start, the momentum starts to swing. We typically don't really stop. That's the way it's been in these two games versus the Packers and versus the Lions. And the only way I see a momentum swing happening, Mark, is if the Chiefs turn the ball over.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I hear you.
For you, I guess that is the question now. For the Niners, Mark, how would the Niners? What are the keys to the Niners losing the game? What could happen on the Niners side of things where they do this, they will lose the game?
Well, I look at it this way, man. If the Niners, honestly, the keys to the loss for the Niners don't really have anything to do with the Niners, truly. The keys for the loss for the Niners have to do with the Chiefs, in my opinion. Like, if it depends on the Chiefs. For instance, Chris Jones, like it said here, Chris Jones is going to be a major factor, and like, I feel as though the Niners need to run away from him as much as possible. Like, don't run. Like, if you're going, like, don't stop running the ball. Just run to where he ain't. Like wherever he ain't. Like, you come to the line. You purposely locate where Chris Jones is, and you run the other way. Like that's what you need to do that every time. Like, I don't care. And then secondly, here's something for the 49ers. You have to keep a cool head.
Yes.
You are not playing these other teams. You are not, like, in every other game, you guys are favored. You are not going to be favored in the referee's eyes like you have been in every other game. So if you get out there and you get frustrated and you grab a person up, or you get frustrated and you get a little chippy, you do whatever you do what you normally do, Greenlaw. You know what I'm saying? and you go out there and get riled up and get silly, you'll be out the game really fast against the Chiefs. You'll be in the locker room really quickly going against the Chiefs doing that. So keep your head together. Like, and you'll see a lot of yellow flags because you want to get in an extra shot. You want to get, like, even if they don't kick you out, you're going to be giving up a lot of yardage because you got upset and you want to give someone an extra shot. Somebody talked to you crazy or talked to you the wrong way, so you slap them upside the head. Trent Williams, you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys need to keep your head together because you're going to give up a lot of yardage the way that y'all normally at.
Yeah, Trent Williams will get penalized. They won't toss Trent Williams out of the game.
No, they won't.
Only because of, I talk about all the time. We have a bunch of average guys on our offensive line, and then Trent Williams. Trent Williams gets tossed out the game. That's the end of the game. Like, so they're not going to toss Trent Williams, but absolutely, Mark, I can see them cracking down on that and being like, "Look, man, y'all are our favorites when you play everybody else, but we like the Chiefs more." Like, let's be honest, man.
Right.
The NFL has an agenda right now. You know, I'm not saying that from a 49ers fan standpoint, Mark. Do you want to get into that right now?
I mean, we can, but I feel as though there's still more to talk about.
Okay, let's talk about some more. But we're gonna talk about what we feel is happening with the NFL right now in this Super Bowl. But okay, we said who. So let's talk about who we got, man.
Well, I'm. It's funny enough. like I said, you guys are favorite, and I have you favorite for a reason. It's funny. I'm going to say the 49ers are going to win, but at the end of the day, in the back of my mind, I'm like, Kyle is going to fuck this up.
Fair. That is fair as fair gets. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I'm just like, at the end of the day, I wholeheartedly believe Kyle's going to fuck this up, but I also believe that you should win. So I'm going to say 49ers because you are the better team. Like, it's just flat out the lack of receiving and the lack of being able to continuously put up a score by the Chiefs.
Yeah,
it's different. Like, it's a different team, and I don't see the NFL allowing an Legion of Boom game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see the NFL allowing what the Legion of Boom was able to do against Denver. Like, I don't see that happening again. Like, in the Chiefs, like, because the same could go for the Chiefs. Like, the grabbing and the knocking Isaiah Likely out of the end zone. Like, you're not going to get that in this game. Like, that's not going to happen. Like, so, like, I don't know what exactly the Chiefs could possibly do. Like, you would need your receive, like, Patrick Mahomes' level is what it is. It's already the sky.
He's who he is, yeah.
Like, but you would need these receivers to tap into something that they've never tapped into before, except for Kadarius Toney. He can't play on any other day, but when he played against the Eagles, anytime he played against the Eagles, he a monster. But
he was up for that. Yeah.
Anybody else? Nope. Like, so, but I don't even think they're going to play Kadarius Toney because they dressed him, but the dude is still talking crazy, talking about, if you give me the ball, like his comments from last night. Like, for you guys out there, I don't know if you heard, but they basically asked Kadarius Toney last night, do you think you're a number one talent in this league, or you're a number one receiver? And he said, absolutely, as long as they give me the ball, blah, 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 blah. And basically it's seemingly like he took a shot at the team, like, for now kind of putting them to the sideline. Troy says Fred Warner is the best coverage linebacker I've ever seen. If he does a great job on Kelsey, how can the Chiefs win besides some Mahomes magic? Here's the thing, man. I don't think there's a such thing as doing a great job on Travis Kelsey. The only
reason why.
The only person I ever see take Travis Kelsey out of a game is Travis Kelsey himself. Like I've seen Travis Kelsey just drop the ball and then continue to do that and continue to make mistakes. We've watched it in the Super Bowl when they played against the Bucks. We watched it several times this year where
it was a problem this year. It was a huge problem this year, and I think people have forgotten about it because of how he's played in the playoffs, but he didn't pick back up, Mark, until like the last 3 games of the regular season.
Right,
and
like he's
actually fucking up all year.
Yeah, like he has not been playing well, but Fred Warner doesn't have the ability to take him out the game. Like, Fred Warner is the best coverage linebacker in the league, but this is what makes Travis Kelsey's longevity more than Gronk's, because what he's doing isn't off of physical talent. It's off of his brain and it's off of his IQ and intelligence of being able to locate the soft spot of the field. So Fred can position himself wherever he wants to be able to make a play. Travis Kelsey is going to go to the opposite spot of where Fred is positioning, because that's pretty much what they allow Travis to do. He's like, I'm going to go out here. But it's like everybody else is running a route and Travis Kelsey is playing backyard football.
Thank you, Mark, for saying those things, because that, like, when excuse me, when you said you don't think he can cover him, or you think he's not coverable, it's not such thing as covering Travis Kelce. The biggest thing that I thought of when he said Warner's the best coverage linebacker I've ever seen, but shout out to him. He's a converted safety. Okay, that's the reason why he plays coverage in that way. But with that said, the issue is this: are the Niners going to come out in man defense?
Exactly. Are you going to man up your linebacker on Travis Kelce all game?
That sets us up to be manipulated in other ways against other guys. Like the one thing we don't want, right? We want the other guys to stay in their place. Let's be real. We want the other guys to stay in their place. We don't want MVS running loose. Okay, we don't want MVS on a street route against Ambry Thomas. And, that's not a matchup that MVS should be winning. But the only way he can win it is if we come out in man defense, right? We're not going to give the Chiefs more options offensively. So it doesn't make any sense for us to come out in a man situation. What are you going to do? Are you going to play a zone, but then also just man up, Fred Warner against Kelce? No, because now you're leaving holes in the zone. Like, there's no way for us to... our team isn't built in a way to where we can man up Fred Warner against Kelce. So Kelsey's going to eat. It just is what it is. If you look at our history versus tight ends, when we play tight ends that are slightly above average and below, they don't do well. When we play guys that are above average to great, they still have their typical games because we cannot... Fred Warner can't be there on every play. It's not his assignment to be there every play. I'm just telling you right now, you can't expect him to do anything with Kelce. But yeah, I don't know if you were finished with your what you were talking about with the team. Okay, so this is what I'll say. I have the Niners as well. I'm a fan, obviously, so I'm gonna pick my team. We here, you know what I'm saying. The one thing that I will tell you is this, though. I wholeheartedly believe that the only thing that can stop us is us. But we've been very good at stopping ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We've been very effective at it. You know what I'm saying? In the games that we lost, we were effective at it. When we played the Vikings and we should have ran away with that game, between the players and the coaches, we did it to ourselves. Okay, we didn't play up to the standard that we're supposed to hold ourselves to, or that we played to before. The coaching on the defensive side of the ball in that game was terrible. These are things that happen way more often than I'd like. So I do have us, but I do understand people saying we should be favored. I'll give you that. You say, look, honestly, Mark, you said the keys for us losing have to do with the Chiefs. If we play our game the way we're supposed to, Mark, there's no reason why we should lose. All right,
but that's the key. That's the key, though. That's the thing, man. Like, I mean, I didn't bring it up because I felt like I'm beating a dead horse, and I said it before.
No, go ahead.
But yeah, Kyle Shanahan is also a key to your losing. If Kyle decides, hey man, if Kyle decides to pull a Ravens and be like, which he has done before, which is, you guys been talking shit about Purdy. I want to prove a point, and I'm gonna come out here slinging.
Yeah,
you're gonna lose. Like there's things that shouldn't happen that could happen because of Kyle Shanahan, which will cause you to lose.
Yes,
Kyle Shanahan has done this before. Like, he did it against the Chiefs before. Like, they were up, and then he just stopped running the ball to the outside. Like, they were killing the Chiefs with the ball going to the outside, and then all of a sudden started running to the inside, and they were getting taken apart by Chris Jones. And and then he started slinging it with Jimmy Garoppolo, and
and people are like, "Oh, Jimmy G missed the pass to Emmanuel Sanders." Jimmy G should have never been in that position.
Right.
Like that's just plain and simple. He should have never been in that position.
And
So
you're
we
going
can't
to see
blame
something
him.
similar from Brock. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Brock is going to, because one thing I could tell you right now, one thing that has happened one too many times, and I could predict that he's going to pay for it here. He has scrambled around, couldn't figure out what to do, and just throws the high ball to Jawan Jennings in the middle of the field. And he's done that one too many times. That's not going to work in this game. I guarantee you, for whatever reason, that if he does that in this game, it's going to be a pick.
Well, here's the reason, Mark. He catches those balls, and it's like, oh, it's a catch. If you watch the catch from the Lions game, Mark, there's a defensive back right behind him.
Right.
If that bounces off of his fingertips in any way, that's a pick. Like, that is absolutely a pick. So yes, and I'll be honest with you, we can't expect Jawan Jennings. I like Jawan Jennings, Mark. You can't expect him to keep doing this week in and week out.
What he got, an 81 inch vertical, 81 foot vertical?
Like I don't know what happened on that play, Mark, but that boy got up for that one. But that can't be your expectations for him. Okay,
right.
But with that said, you're talking about us shooting ourselves in the foot as far as play calling with Kyle Shanahan, with the arrogance, right? The arrogance of Kyle Shanahan. I will say this is the best play calling as far as his consistency that I've seen over the course of any season. And I was one of those people, Mark, that hard body thought that people were just making up excuses for Kyle Shanahan when they're like, well, you know, his play calling, well, he doesn't really trust Jimmy G. And I'm like, you're saying that to me as he's calling 3 pass plays in a row for Jimmy G late in the game.
Right.
I don't know. And granted, I didn't like the pass calls, the passing plays that he was calling, but I still felt as if he's calling passing plays for Jimmy G. That means he has some type of confidence in him. Now, granted, I will say the play calling has changed late in those games with Brock Purdy, and it seems to be the connection between Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy seems to have somehow made him less idiotic in his late game play calling. But Mark, I'm with you. That's not what I'm worried about in this game. I'm not worried about the late game play calling. I'm worried about the early game. I'm trying to show you that Brock Purdy is the guy.
Right.
And let's be honest, Mark, that play calling is what's been getting us into these situations when you're talking about versus the Ravens, talk about the first half versus the Eagles. That's how we ended up in these situations. Okay. The Lions game is the only big game that we played this year where Kyle Shanahan didn't try to come out and throw the ball 15 times in the first half versus 3 carries. Okay? It's the only game that we tried to run. And it was the one game that we weren't supposed to.
Yeah.
They have the best run defense in the league, and then their pass defense is 28th. We should have been throwing. Like, it's
But that would be more so Kyle being Kyle, like, oh, you think you have the best run defense in the league? I'm gonna show you.
Yeah, exactly. The first half arrogance of Kyle Shanahan. I know people talk about Brock Purdy's play. The first half arrogance of Kyle Shanahan, I feel, has played somewhat a part in the Brock Purdy performances.
But
you know what I'm saying? But point blank period. If I have to pick an MVP, because I'm gonna get to the score later, but if I have to pick an MVP, obviously I'm picking the Niners, so I have to pick an MVP for the Niners. If we win this game, Mark, I can see it going the way of how we won the Packers game. Not won by offense, but won by defense. And if it's won by defense, it's not going to be Dre Greenlaw this time. It'll be Fred Warner. So Fred Warner is who I have for our Super Bowl MVP. He's the guy that comes in, he gets sacks, he plays coverage, Plays in coverage. He gets interceptions. He forces fumbles. He does everything for us on defense.
He's not going to be an MVP though. You think they will never have a defensive player be MVP? It's going to be Brock Purdy. Let's just not. If the Chiefs win, it's going to be Patrick Mahomes. If the 49ers win, it's going to be Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy could pass for 0 touchdowns and 175 yards. It's going to be Brock Purdy. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your breath trying to figure out anybody else. Like the MVP is going to be a quarterback.
Ray Lewis won a Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, in like the year 2000.
Fair enough, Mark. But that's my pick, and that's what I'm going with. What do you have, Mark? What do you have as far as the MVP?
I just told you.
Brock Purdy. Simple. Very
Brock
simple.
Brock Purdy.
If you got us winning, there has to be Brock Purdy.
Yes, if you win, it's Brock Purdy. If the Chiefs win, it's Patrick Mahomes. Period. That's it.
Another quarterback award, Mark. Here we go. But
I mean, that's just the. But I got a better thing to talk about, or at least let's build the same game parlay right now.
Same game parlay. Okay, let's talk about it.
All right. So, right now I have San Fran on the money line. You know what? I should take them on the 2.5 points though, because like if I have them winning, then the 2.5 points. Actually, I could do both. I could do the 2.5 points as the spread and do them just flat out winning as the money line. And so, I definitely have the under for points. For it says the over under is 47.5.
47 is crazy, Mark.
I
would take the under on that too. I agree with you.
Like I have the under for the points. Anytime touchdown. I got Christian McCaffrey, obviously. Like if Christian McCaffrey don't get a touchdown, you guys are losing. And I have Travis Kelce for a touchdown. For an anytime touchdown. I would put Rashee Rice on here, but I think because Rashee Rice is his only other value target or a viable target, I think they're going to lock him down or try to. Alternate yards, man. I'm not going to go crazy. I'm just going to have Patrick Mahomes for 225 plus. That's that's negative 300, but in a parlay, it just adds to the odds.
It's too good. Yeah, it's too good, right? So now this is what I'll say about the Patrick Mahomes thing. The 225 yards, it might seem crazy, and I'm not gonna lie to you, Mark. It's probably gonna look bad in the beginning of the game. It's probably gonna look bad in the third quarter. Right. But if this game goes the way that I expect it to go, all the scoring is gonna happen in the fourth quarter. The ball is going to be moving down the field in the fourth quarter for both teams, only because by then all of the adjustments have been made, Mark. So I could easily see Patrick Mahomes going into the fourth quarter with 100 yards passing, and then ending the game with 280. Like it happened. So I think 225 is a good one for Pat.
Right.
I don't think they're going to come out and say, "Hey, the game plan is to run the ball."
Now, for Brock Purdy, this only shows his plus yardage, but I'm going to go find his passing prop for, and I'm going to take his, let's see, that's his alt yards. I'm going to say Brock Purdy under 246 yards this game.
Under 246?
Yeah.
That's a good prop. You know why, Mark? People got caught up during the season with Brock Purdy's touchdowns. And they're like, man, he threw 3 touchdowns this game. He threw 4 touchdowns this game. Mark, do you know what his averages were as far as yardages in those games? They were like 240. Like he was having games where he was throwing for 220 yards and 4 touchdowns. Okay, we were getting good field position because our defense was balling in the beginning of the year. We were getting good field position. We were running McCaffrey a lot more. Yeah, that's a really good bet.
All right,
right around what he's been averaging.
All right, so
and this is a better defense than he's faced. So
Travis Kelce alt yards. I'm thinking about Travis Kelce plus 60, but should I push it for plus 70 for him to get at least 70 yards?
I'd leave it at 60. I can see him getting a 70 though, Mark. I swear, I would leave it at 60 just because I'll play it safe.
Right.
I would hate for that motherfucker. I would hate for him to end up with 68. Like, that's the way I see it. Like, I would hate for him to end up with 7 catches, 8 catches, 68 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Like, that's a stat line he can have.
Right. All right.
I would hate for that to be.
So Christian McCaffrey, what do you think? How many yards do you think he get?
The line is honestly, the line is probably for total yards. Yeah, it's probably at like 88. I would say he would be over that. In the games where he doesn't,
I'm not doing the over under for his yards. I'm doing his alt yards. So, his alt yards, I could do something as low as plus 50, but the odds on that is really
not great.
It's really trash. So
80 is the number that I would feel really comfortable with, because look, the game throughout the season, the games that he's had bad rushing performances, like 60-yard rushing performance, 40-yard rushing performance, he's had 60 plus yards receiving, because we don't just stop giving him the ball, we just start throwing to him. So
all right, so here we go. Who do you think would be the first touchdown scorer of this game?
I honestly think we get the first touchdown, and if we get the first touchdown, it's got to be Christian McCaffrey. Those DBs are good, man. I'm just saying it's either between Christian McCaffrey or Brock Purdy running it in. I'm looking at Christian McCaffrey first touchdown.
All right,
probably ain't great.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I have a same game parlay of 8 picks, man. San Francisco on the money line. I got Christian McCaffrey. I got. Hold on. Let me get rid of that. But yeah, it says San Francisco money line, Christian McCaffrey anytime, Travis Kelce anytime, San Fran beating the spread of 2.5 points. And it says Patrick Mahomes plus 225, Brock Purdy under 246, Travis Kelce plus 60, and Christian McCaffrey plus 80. Now, if I was to bet $10, that's a $190 bet.
I would hope it would have been more than that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
That's
eight
crazy.
selected, but you know what I'm saying? But that lets you know.
Yo, we really are a favorite like that. That's crazy, yeah.
But yeah, here, Mahomes said. Mahomes said. Troy says Mahomes rushing yards put the over. Hey, I can see that because he's going to have to escape the pocket. I can see that.
Well, I'll be honest with you. That's the way to beat us. You know, Chase Young ain't gonna go after you. So I mean, hey, look. To answer your question, Troy, because I looked it up as soon as you asked it, but I was waiting for us to go through the parlay. Malcolm Smith. So I'm trying to figure out what he did, but there was a whole lot of defensive scoring in that Super Bowl. It's the only Super Bowl, Mark, that I did not finish. I stopped watching the Seahawks-Broncos Super Bowl at halftime. So I don't know what his stats were, but I'm assuming he probably is one of the people that got a touchdown, probably had multiple picks. So
No. The over for Patrick Mahomes is 25 yards, and that's negative 110. So like, that's not even a plus. Like none of so.
Okay, here's the stats for Malcolm Smith. He said Smith made the second interception of the game, but it was considered the most significant as it gained 69 yards and a touchdown, giving the Seahawks 22-0 cushion and effectively ending the game. He ended the game with 9 tackles, 5 solo tackles, and 2 passes defended. So he got the defensive touchdown to put the game out of reach early in the second quarter. Man. So yeah.
All right, let's go to defensive props real quick. You think Chris Jones is going to get a sack?
Yeah. Purdy takes sacks, man. Like,
but do you think Chris Jones is going to get
yes.
a sack?
Yes. Yes. Purdy likes to stand in the pocket, in the center of the pocket. Purdy likes to step up into the pocket. Chris Jones can sack him through our center. Like, our center could be blocking him and he can reach around him and grab him. Yes, Chris Jones gets at least 1 sack.
Oh, that's crazy. They saying Chris Jones can't be added to the same game.
Ooh, that's crazy.
I don't know why that defensive prop can't be added to the same game, but that's what they saying. Nick Bosa to not record a sack.
Nick Bosa had a hard time getting sacks this year. Even in the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken, he got his first sack in the playoffs against the Lions late in the second half. And I believe it's the only sack that he has in the playoffs. But yeah, Nick Bosa has not been getting sacks at all. It's weird. I just wouldn't add that. He hasn't been getting sacks, but watch, this will be the time he gets a fucking sack.
Well, so, we don't get no money or nothing, but I'm gonna just let you guys know that on FanDuel they have a no sweat same game parlay. So basically, you bet $1 or more, and as long as it qualifies for the same game parlay, you make the bet and you'll get that money back essentially. All right, yeah. You'll not get it back, but you'll get it back in betting money, so you can bet it again.
Credit, yeah.
If you lose. If you win, then you just win your money. So
yeah,
huzzah. So there you go. So there you go. No sweat bet on FanDuel. But I have this 8-teamer thing, and the odds, like, it's plus 1900, and that's not great for eight picks, but you know what I mean? But this seems like a sure thing.
I would take it. I would. That's something, like I said, I gave you my opinions on it. It sounded good to me. You know, out of everything that we said, the only one that I see that might be a concern is the 80 yards for CMC. But if you don't get that, then you're not getting the Niners money line anyway. So it doesn't matter. That's the way I see it. You know what I'm saying? If you get if we're winning the game, that's gonna happen. So yeah.
Right.
No. Okay. So now that we've done that, Mark, what's your score prediction, man? What is your score? I know you say you're taking under 47 points, so you got to give me a prediction that's under 47 points, my guy.
24-17.
24-17. I think it'll be closer. I'm saying 20. I'm saying 23-20.
How do they get to 20? They try to go for a extra point and don't get it. I mean, they try to go for a 2-point and don't get it.
No, I just feel like there's going to be some field goals this game.
Okay, so 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals to get
Chiefs
20.
get 2 field goals. Niners get let me see. I said 23, right?
Yeah. You kick 3.
Nah, that's not happening. I'm lying to myself, bro. I'm lying to myself. There's no way they kick 3 field goals. Shanny won't have that. Fine, 24-20. That sounds better, right? 24-20. We kick 1 field goal. We get 3 touchdowns. Chiefs kick 2. Chiefs kick field goals because they feel like their defense can hold.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. Yeah. 24-20.
Matthew has 34-17. So you have this as a blowout, essentially.
Hey, I will tell you this. You can say what you want about my boy Matt. He been on brand all year. He has had the same energy all year. Okay, he been having the same energy since last year. So I mean, this is on brand for Matt. 34-17. I disagree. But yeah, I think I might be. Me and Mark might be the only people that really respect the Chiefs defense.
I mean, a lot of people do respect the Chiefs defense.
I respect them on another level.
Exactly, like that. Exactly,
Yeah.
But I think the Chiefs defense need to realize that they committed a lot of penalties in that last game, and I don't think they're going to be able to. Hold up. So all right. So Matt, in your world,
scoop score.
Matt, how do you see this happening? Do you see this happening from a pick? Like
That's okay.
Like, do you now? If you do see this happening from a pick, do you see it happening from a tip, from a tip pick, from the receiver tipping it in the air and somebody recovering it, or do you just see Pat just flat out throwing a pick?
I can tell you right now, it's possible that a receiver bobbles the ball, but Pat not throwing no outright pick late in the game, bro. It's not happening, bro. It's not happening. That's why I asked if it was going to be a scooping score. I don't know. Now, Mark, what you're talking about is why I said Fred Warner for my MVP defensively. If we cause the turnovers, it's going to be a strip. It's going to be a play where a ball gets tipped up in the air by a wide receiver, and Warner's there, like Johnny on the spot. Like, I don't see this. Nah. Hey, I like it. I like that you have the whole thing already in your mind played out. It's like, nah, man, it's gonna be 28-17, and then so you're saying the game is gonna end on a defensive touchdown. If you say 34, that means you're not getting the extra point. That means time's expired.
So you got Bosa for the strip. You got Bosa for the strip sack. Okay.
Or a pick six because of a play Bosa made. So Bosa gonna generate pressure.
Bosa is either strip sacking it or tipping it.
Yeah, so Bosa gets his hand up, he tips it, and then I like it, man. Hey, Mark.
All right.
As a 49er fan, I like it. I like that energy, man.
Okay.
I like it, man.
Okay.
He said if Tony's suiting up, it's gonna be a pick. Hey, Tony might not even be on the team by Sunday the way he talking.
Tony definitely ain't suiting up, but or at least he ain't playing. I could tell you that he ain't playing.
Tony can't even travel with the team if I'm the Chiefs, man.
But he's already there though, so it is what it is.
I don't care, man. Send that man home. Oh, real quick, Mark. So I wanted to talk about this. I want to talk about the refereeing because this is something that me and Mark were concerned about with the with the Super Bowl in the way it's going to be officiated all year long. They've been very adamant about about swallowing the whistle late in games when it comes to any type of down the field pass interference holding calls. We watched a Chiefs player tackle Isaiah Likely. You know what I'm saying? Look, we've seen it happen, okay? And they say we're not blowing the whistle. And it definitely had an effect on that game. We don't want to see that. Number one,
Right.
I want to see them call the game the way it's supposed to be called. I don't want to see the swallowing of whistles leading to a team continuing a drive or making a big play or any of that stuff. If guys are out there committing egregious penalties, it needs to be called. But outside of that, you've heard us already mention that the Niners aren't going to get those favorable calls the way that they've been getting. The Chiefs also are not going to get away with some of those. But Mark came up, he told me something interesting earlier, because we were talking about the NFL and, we kind of feel like they've wanted the Niners and Chiefs from the beginning of the season. We noticed the favorable calls for both the teams. We knew this is kind of what they wanted from the beginning of the season. And Mark said, you know what Kelsey did? He tweeted and said, man, if we win the Super Bowl, I'm gonna get down on one knee and I'm gonna propose to Taylor Swift, bro. Now, Mark said it to me, and the first thing that came out of the very next thing that came out of Mark's mouth was, "That's nasty. I know what you're doing." Hey, look, man. Look, I feel like the NFL already has an agenda for the Chiefs. Okay, Kelsey coming out here and saying that he's going to propose midfield right after a Super Bowl victory. You think the NFL doesn't know what type of viewership they're going to get if that happens? Do you think the NFL doesn't know what type of viewership they're going to get for the Super Bowl just in hopes that it happens? Come on, man. Kelsey, see what you're doing, boy. See, hey, you slick. You manipulating the system, man. We seen it, We seen it when you changed from the beard to the hillbilly mustache. We seen it, you know what I'm saying? We seen your whole look change. You got rid of the diamond stud earrings. We seen it. We know what you're doing, man.
Hey, but Travis Kelce knows better about one thing. I just typed in his name just now, and this is on Vibe This is in Vibe magazine, right? It says, headline says, Travis Kelce wants no parts in white people thinking he started to fade.
That's too black, huh? That's too black.
He said, like, here goes the article, right? It says Kelce was interviewed by Vegas Sports Today ahead of the Super Bowl on Tuesday, February 6th. A reporter asked him about the New York Times report that the Kansas City Chiefs star revolutionized the fade haircut. The tight end thought the ordeal was ridiculous, insisting that he doesn't want to take any credit in starting or trailblazing the popular black haircut. Here goes a direct quote from Travis Kelce. He says, "That is absolutely ridiculous," he said with a smile, laughing off the Times story. "And to do it on February 1st and throw me to the wolves like that, that's messed up, man. I don't want anything to do with that, man. I got a good fade, though. If you need it, I get a number 2 on top with a high to mid fade with a taper in the back. But I didn't invent that. I just asked for it." He said, I like that he said, "Yo, we're not doing this on February 1st, dog. You gotta relax."
If anybody had questions about the legitimacy of Travis Kelce ever being, genuinely of the culture, that comment right there will let you know. He is a man of the culture because he knows, he's not the guy that just has a black friend. Okay? He's not that guy. He clearly understands exactly what was about to happen or what was happening already. The man probably went to the barbershop and got some weird looks. I don't know, but I'm gonna tell you this right now. He obviously is aware. He knows exactly what time it is, Mark. And he said, "Look, man."
He said not on February 1st, dog.
Put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Hey, look, that's funny. Hey, you know what, Travis? You just got 2 points in my book. You know what I'm saying? I like it.
Yeah, you definitely earned your points back.
Yeah, because let me tell you something. That's some real shit you just said. Not on February 1st, my guy. We will not have it. We will not have it.
Kelce previously addressed the idea that he somehow Christopher Columbus than already known haircut. During a recent interview with the episode of Shannon Sharp and Chad Johnson's Nightcap, the former athletes talked about white America naming the haircut after the player. Travis Kelce confirmed he did not invent the taper. Yeah, so this is back when Ocho. This is back when this is what Shannon Sharp said yesterday. Ocho, I've been getting the fade since '86. Sharp said, wait, he don't have a fade. He got a buzz cut. Like, when you go to the Army, bro, like, how, bro? Johnson responded. Shannon then aimed his criticism at the New York Times. He called out the publication for doing this during Black History Month. So New York Times. So Travis, with that reference, was probably referencing Nightcap, when he said not during Black History Month. So he said, so New York Times, so that's how you start Black History Month? Give it Trav, and that's my nephew. You're going to give him credit for the fade? So that's where. So that's probably what he was referencing.
Yeah, when he's talking about buzz cut, like, listen, look, man, there's all types of fades out there. You know, you got what they call a temp fade or just a taper. You know, you just got the fade right there in the back. You know what I'm saying? Look, that's a high fade, man. Like, if you go in a barbershop and ask for a high fade, you want the hair to start up here, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you want it, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, you can ask for a ball fade, you can ask for a boosty fade. Like, that's the only fade that should ever be named after somebody. The boosty fade is officially the boosty fade. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is, man. You might call it a Marine haircut, but I'm just telling you that's a boosty fade. So, like, nah, man, we're not naming fades after people like that, and we definitely not naming fades after Travis Kelce. So,
all right, man. Listen, this is the last topic I want to bring up before we get out of here. We could talk about the Clippers next week, but the last topic I want to bring up, and this is just the general G Wiz topic, man. Usher is set to perform this weekend, bro. Who you want to see? Like, you want to see him bring out guests? Do you want to see him bring out guests? And what song do you want to hear him perform?
Man, Mark, look, I'm greedy, bro. I want to hear everything, bro. I want you to squeeze as many hits in there. Give me a verse from every hit that you got. And guess what? Because he's Usher, he might not even have enough time to give you 1 minute from each hit. So, but that's what I want, Mark. I want it to feel like he's giving a tribute to himself on an award ceremony.
No.
Okay?
Now, right here, Matthew Petty says Little John. I do want Little John to come out.
Oh, Little John appearance would be fucking fire. Yes,
I want Little John to come out, and I want Little John to do Turn Down for What? But I want Little John to do Turn Down for What and Troll. I know you seen the TikTok video where the DJ played Turn Down for What, and then it played Dancing Free or whatever, that white song. Like, it was like Turn Down for What, and like dude started going, and then it's like Dancing Free, and like dude was like slutty as shit. That happened. I want him to do that. I want him to do Turn Down for What and just troll and like cut to a random ass song.
I will say this, but the troll would be doper if it's a troll that references the trend on TikTok. That's fire to me. That actually sounds dope to me, man. It will go crazy. It will go viral. But yeah. If you're talking about guests though, yes, there's two guests that you have to have: Lil Jon and Ludacris. You can have them for whatever songs that you want, but the ultimate thing has to be all three of them coming together to do in the club.
Listen, I hate to say this, but Ludacris music doesn't age well, and I don't want to hear Ludacris perform any songs outside of the Usher, you know what I mean, the Usher features. I don't want to hear him.
You're crazy, but
I don't want to hear what?
I'm not gonna call you crazy here.
I don't want to hear what?
The Make Love in This Club. You don't want to hear?
No, I said I want to
Yeah,
hear.
you said
I don't want to hear his music. Like I don't want to hear his
Right.
music. The stuff
Look.
that he's featured on is fine,
Look,
but
Mark,
like his music has not aged well.
we're
Like
gonna
yo,
have to
when-
respectfully
yo,
disagree.
when was the last time you listened to a Ludacris? When was the last time you popped in a Ludacris joint on your Spotify? When was the last time you was like, you know what, I'm gonna rock out to Ludacris today?
I was listening to Blueberry Yum Yum the other day. What you talking about? Look, Mark. Now here's what I'll give you. Okay, you're not completely crazy. A lot of his music has aged badly. I'm not gonna sit here and hold you, boy. But not all of his music aged badly. Don't do that to him.
I didn't say all. I didn't say all. I just said his music as a general statement. His music has aged badly.
Look, Filler Up Balloons aged. Okay, I'm never gonna forgive Ludacris for that line, Mark. I'm
man.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm never gonna forgive him for that.
It's a parade, Macy's.
I'm never gonna forgive him for that song. Like,
it's the fucking worst
oh my
song
God,
in the
Mark. I'm
world.
sorry. Like, as soon as you said his shit aged badly, I immediately thought of like 5 songs off the top of my head that I'm like, I know he's talking about these songs. I know he is. But I couldn't I was like, nah, man, I like Ludacris. You're not gonna do that to my boy. You know what I'm saying? But you're right about that, though. Like, that My Chick Bad song was so terrible. Oh my God, Mark.
Like,
I
no,
thought it was
like-
terrible when it came out.
Like think about it. Like the other joint with what's his name? With the Austin Powers stuff and all that. Like, I don't want to hear that. Like,
Bro,
I don't want to. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear that.
You don't want
I
to
don't
hear
want.
that?
I don't want to hear that. Like, come on, bro. There's so much Ludacris music that just I'm cool, man. Go ahead and hold on. You just hold on to that, my boy.
Let's have a real conversation real quick. Nah. We staying on this Ludacris topic right quick. And this is a conversation that needs to be had, Mark, because this is how I feel about Ludacris. Very, extremely talented, my guy. Extremely talented rapper. Flow, delivery, he understands it. Lyricism, he can do it. Theater mind, phenomenal. Okay, Mark? But one thing that I always thought about Ludacris that always bothered me, that started to show its ugly head later on in his career is Ludacris just a lame person? Is his taste lame? Is that why he picked the Austin Powers beat? Is that why he said Filler Up Balloons, Mark? Does he have lame ideas, Mark? I need you to answer that question for me.
I don't know, man.
Because
I don't know.
I feel like part of his personality slips into the music sometimes, and it's just like maybe he's just a lame guy. I don't know, man.
I don't know.
The Austin Powers beat was
that's
terrible.
hard. That's hard. Does Usher have any songs with Sierra? Like, I'm asking because I'm just blanking and I'm not really.
I don't know, but the dance performance would be amazing if he does.
Like, because I was thinking about, like, if Usher has songs with Sierra, then Sierra could perform "Oh" with Ludacris. And
He does have a song with Sierra. Sierra, Turn It Up, featuring Usher.
I don't think I ever heard that, or I can't place
Usher
it
and
right
Sierra, I Bet You Got It Bad. Usher, Hot Toddy, features Sierra. Apparently they got a few songs together.
now. Okay, so here's the thing. Like, I only asked that because I want to hear "Oh." Hearing "Oh" on the Super Bowl stage would be fire. Like, and that's a credit to Ludacris right there. Oh, with Ludacris right there.
No, oh is some of his best work. You know what I'm saying? See, this is why I can't let you just be like blanket statement.
But no,
music is badly.
But mind you,
Okay,
that's technically not a Ludacris song.
Damn, you might. Man, I don't want you to be right here, Mark. I don't want.
That's not a Ludacris song.
I'm gonna fight this for a while. I'm gonna go do some research and try to come up with an argument because
No, all right. If you come up with an argument, I'm gonna just lay out some ground rules. Don't bring up no DTP shit. Don't bring up Don't bring up nothing that's off of a Timbaland album. Like bring up his music, his shit, like his stuff. No features. Nothing that he's featured in. Because I accept that he is a great lyricist. He just his music is just not it.
For a minute though, and then you know what, Mark? You might be honest. Did Ludacris do any verses?
Did he do a verses? No.
Yeah.
No.
Damn.
It was supposed to be a verse. I think it was supposed to be a verses between him and T.I. at one point, but it never happened.
Yeah. You might be onto something.
Troy says,
I hate it though.
Troy says he made a lot of era music. Some of his songs are still cool. The fact that you have to say they cool lets you know right there.
See,
like if you're not fervently like, no, absolutely not. You're not going to do this. This song, this song, lets me know that you like. I don't want to say it, but yeah.
I feel like you're telling me that Santa Claus ain't real right now for the first time, bro. Like in seeing the comment of he made a lot of era music, it's like I never put him in the category of a guy that made era music, and then now I'm actually fucking.
Oh, he did have a versus against Nelly.
Nelly was playing some bunk ass shit, bro. That's Nelly's fault.
Nelly was playing him, dog.
Nelly. I remember this now, Mark. Nelly, his playlist is terrible. His choices of songs, like he was picking album cuts off of the Sweatsuit album, dog. Like I don't know what he was doing, man. Nelly was doing some stuff, man, that I didn't really like. Nelly should have won that. Damn, now you making me remember these things, man. Never mind, man. You know what? I'm done talking about Ludacris. You just ruined my day, Mark.
Hey,
you just ruined my day.
Hey, but you wanna know something funny? What? I'm betting on San Francisco because I have a bad luck with bets.
That's nasty, boy. That's nasty, Mark.
Like, yo, I'm betting on San Francisco because I have a bad luck with bets, and I'm like.
So it's a win-win for you, Mark, huh? It's a win-win?
Yeah, like...
You lose the bet, but the Niners lose.
Or the Niners going to break my bad luck with betting. Like,
you get money. That is nasty, boy. That is nasty.
So, hey, man, I'm a genius, though. Like,
Nelly played Rock the Mic remix, though. See, he played Made You Look remix. Like, I remember his playlist just bad, bro. Why would you remember there was like 2 or 3 tracks that people was like, no, there was a track that Nelly played was like, nobody's ever heard this is unreleased, and it was trash, and it was like, this is why you should have never released it. Do you remember he played an unreleased track? I know Troy remembers it because everything's becoming vivid now, Mark. He played an unreleased track that was garbage. I
don't know why you would play an unreleased track in the verses. It was unreleased. Like, you play it to the audience. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
if it's complete fire, then you do it. Like, remember how this versus thing started? It was Timbaland versus Swiss Beats. And there was that point where Swiss was like, yo, I got a track with everybody on it. God's on it. Nas is on it. Jay-Z's on it. Like, he had a track that had a feature list that was never done before.
It's still not officially released. To this day.
Yes, but it was only fire in that versus because you had the creme de la, like, how did you get all these people on there? Like, if your unreleased track isn't at that high, Mark, then you don't play it, Mark. If you say I got a track with Tupac and Jay-Z on it, and they actually record it while Tupac is live, then yeah, you put that out, and then you might, you know what I'm saying, you get the reaction you're looking for. But if you're Nelly putting out an unreleased track that's garbage,
listen,
when you haven't made music in 10 years, then you made a mistake.
But listen, man.
Yeah.
Listen, that's all we got, guys.
Yeah.
I'm playing 3D chess over here, and I'm betting on San Fran because I'm gonna tell you the truth. Like, I think that they could win, but I don't want them to. and I don't want them to because I don't like their players as humans. I don't like I don't like them as human beings. Quite a few of them actually. So it just is what it is. So I'm going to do what I got to do, and either my betting issue is going to be fixed, or you guys lose. Either way,
I don't appreciate you bringing your bad juju and bringing it to my team in the Super Bowl, Mark. I don't want your bad luck betting streak to fucking come over to affect my team.
I do though.
Bowl, Mark. That's terrible.
I do.
Like I said, that's nasty. That's nasty work, man. That's nasty.
Nah, it's all
proud
fair.
Of it. You're proud of it. That's even nastier.
It's all fair. You deserve it. You remember that scene where in Spider-Man, like what was it, the first one, No Way Home, whichever one it was called.
Oh, No Way Home.
Yeah, where like he spiderwebbed Donald Glover to the trunk, and Donald Glover was like, "Hey man, get me out of this," and he started to come over to get him out of it, and he was like, "Nah, you a criminal, you deserve it, it'll dissolve," and just and walked away.
Yeah, Homecoming. That was Homecoming. Yeah,
that's how I feel about you guys. Like, nah, you deserve it. I'm gonna do it anyway. All right.
Nah, absolutely. You know what? That's. I'll let you have that, but I'm just letting you know that's diabolical, Mark.
Right.
So, I mean, I guess that's you do what you have to, or whatever you feel you need to. I guess.
Hey man, whatever works. You know what I mean?
But
anyway, guys, thank you for watching. We appreciate you for sticking around. This was just a fun episode for us, so not much to talk about. But we will be getting back into the other stuff. There's a lot of Eagles news going on, and like a lot of movement for the Eagles. And next week we'll be getting ready for the off season for NFL. And next week, I could tell you right now, next week we'll be doing QB tier list. And we'll be doing some other things to evaluate the season overall and how we see teams going for the next year. And so that way we can revisit it when it comes to when the season actually during preseason, we can revisit it, see what we got right and which direction teams actually win in and stuff like that.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely. Just for the record, after the Super Bowl is over, that does not mean that the NFL content stops here. Okay. So just if you're here for the NFL content, just understand you continue to show up.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean. Lately, that's all we really talk about. Maybe we just be an NFL show, but we'll see. Anyway, thanks guys. Appreciate it.
All right.
Peace.